Okay.
We chilling like rock.
Yeah. No, this isn't. This isn't a new game. This is an old one. The old one I used to play on the computer when you used to live here at the house. Yeah, did you just wake up right now? What? Let me turn off the light. Feed the cats. Yeah, I just hope that everything will be okay with the money thing, the money situation, with the bank and everything. Cause I was thinking if you get all that soon, we could get a whole bunch of weed, and we can make our own cigars. But that's just later on. But when do you want me to? So you said the 27th. You want me to take you to the doctor's right over here to by the house. But the 27th is a Saturday. So I don't know if you want me to take you tomorrow or I take you Monday. That way you can get your garden parties. But you can learn how to roll a joint right now. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to roll a joint. A crazy fat joint. Yeah, call them up. Let me know when to take you. These wraps taste like vanilla. I don't think I could, I don't think I could roll a joint at all, dude. At least not right now. don't even have a lighter. Damn. Fucking hell. I have to go find one. Penniless. You're penniless. What's going on at work? Nothing much. They're gonna bring in the new managers. They're bringing in their new managers soon. So I know that's happening. But they say they're, one of them's a cholo. All that stuff. There's a vato loco cholo. Is Santos still? I'm glad that Santos still alive. Yeah, I feel pretty bad about Gary. I want to see Gary before everything happens, you know? Does his brother know who you are? Well, of course his brother knows who you are. You gotta keep going straight. You just check. His brother this morning. Well, what? Does Gary have alcoholic dementia? Is that what he have? Kind of sounds like what he has, alcoholic dementia. Oh shit. Okay, where do I need to go? Star Wars. Who's this guy? Aneth. My fucking hair's in my mouth. Yeah, the last time I played this game was when my dad was still living here, and he came back home and he brought a big plate from this Chinese food place that closed down. It was called Lamb's Chinese. Yes, we have to put on drink. He was supposed to stop drinking a long time ago, huh? But he got sick. Brother, you fought at the church, huh? 10 years ago. So you should have been listening to the doctor 10 years ago. That's a long time. Damn, Gary, you've been drinking? Told you your kidneys can't do it? It surprises me how King Cobra died before, because you'll have guys who drink like Gary, but you have Cobra who only died when he was 34. Damn, this bitch is getting me. Kabi. Okay, breach the door to... What is this now? Alright.
Are you there, Michael? It's for revising.
Proceed.
This is an emergency. The exchange is attacking. Mugabe is here. Someone told us out. Get back as soon as you can. We can't hold it.
Something happened. I need to get a blue lightsaber. I'm waiting to get a blue one. That way I could have one red lightsaber, one blue lightsaber. So I could trick people. They could think I'm a Jedi, but I'm actually a Sith. And then the Sith people could think I'm a Jedi when I'm actually a Sith. What? The Sith people don't know my true intentions. I'm a Jedi-leaning Sith, I guess you could say. Alright, now where do I go? joint here. I don't know. Couldn't do it for a second. What's up, John Isaac? Yeah, I'm rolling in the back. Goes too many chemicals. Yeah, I am rolling in the back. Look at this. It's a joint. But my joint is it's not coming out as I want it to be. Unfortunately. All along Johnson. No, no, a line. A line? Imagine I'm all doing lines. Well, at least that's part of the mission, so let me finish rolling this joint and then we'll continue the story. Hope you've been doing good, John Isaac. This is my natural lighting, bro. I have no lights in here. Rolling a fat one. Fat doink, you know what I'm saying? At least I could smoke right now. Up until like 12 maybe? Yeah, until it hits 12, that's when I gotta stop. There we go. The Sith pre-roll. Fuck yeah. Alright, now let's see what we got ourselves into.
What shall it be? Does one die? Do both?
You horrible work.
Both wretched. Now you here to rescue the woman and the traitor. I, Lucavi.
He brought you here and sold us out.
Itoba and the others fear me. Fear destroys minds. Look upon my body. Cortosis skin grafts. Intravenous Colto injection system. Holographic targeting array. You are only mortal. I will always...
The Section 8 hut. Where's my lightsabers? Have you played this game before, dude?
I don't think he's getting up.
Damn.
Auto injections can't restore his
I played
eyesight.
this one a long time ago too.
Don't you dare talk. You brought him here.
I was in
You tried
high
to get me
school.
killed.
Over 10 years ago when I played this game.
What do you have to say?
Maybe, but you made the call to Okami.
God damn. Good partner to us, but this woman, she is incompetent, interfering. You have seen this. She represents the Empire, true enough. I don't know. She's bad. You think she's bad. I think she's a bitch. I don't know, man. Fuck, I don't know what to fucking pick.
Defy this woman. You defy the greatest power in the galaxy.
How dare you?
Ah. Fuck the Shadow Syndicate. God damn, dude. I don't know. My loyalty isn't for sale, which is good. But if I kill her, someone better can take over.
The Shadow Syndicate is in my debt. Don't forget it.
Why?
I promise the unfortunate loss of moral vision will not inhibit our alliance with the Empire. The DX Annihilator Network will supply data on exchange activities. They will reassemble. We work to crush them and all of the Empire's enemies on Nar Shaddaa. Our promise.
Business is always welcome.
All right. Looking more Mexican than me? Not even. me see. Does he look more Mexican than me? Yeah, look at that face. Only a face a mom could love.
Vehicle pads are currently open for business.
I think that's where I gotta go.
Have a safe and pleasant stay.
Take you to the head. I like joints. Joints are good. Which one's which? Bounty Hunter, Sith, Warrior. Wrong one. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. Okay, well, good thing I'm not Mexican and I'm Guatemalan. Get the Mexicans first. And then the El Salvadorians after. Here's another tip. Guatemalans speak English, Mexicans don't. So some Guatemalans, they'll look white like me and they'll know English. Those are fine. But Mexicans, they don't take the time to learn English. They don't take the time to actually work. Most of them are lazy. Most of them are drunk assholes. So there's the typical Mexican. Or you'll get like the typical Guatemalan who's an Indian. They're like low-key like Mayans. They're like the jungle people. You got those Guatemalans. Yeah. I like being Guatemalan. It's fine. It's as long as I'm not fucking Mexican, that's all that matters.
You have done well, my apprentice. Denadon eliminated and beyond Rathari dispelled.
This will be a day.
Or Jewish. Mexico is ran by a Jew.
She will be easily replaced.
Yes, I will place my slave operations in good hands, rest assured. You have successfully eliminated both of my compromised agents. The time has come to set our sights on God and his gifted Padawan. It seems our adversary is of like mind. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Colonel Carr has been busy.
Okay.
Enlighten me, Master.
It appears your ship is being tracked. A very sophisticated sensor is reporting your every movement. I've traced the signal to a spaceport in a sector not far from you. I'm sure Colonel Carr is involved.
You're losing it, Barris.
Send me to this spaceport. Perhaps Kar is there, and I can end this.
Colonel Carr is a master of the Jedi arts. Do not take him lightly. I've sent the coordinates to your mainframe. Get there immediately, dock with the station, and make a lasting impression.
Okay. Well, sold to a vendor. Okay. My lightsaber's still strong. Well, this has an extra upgrade thing. I don't know, we'll keep it though for now. And I got resin. Resin everywhere. The orbital monitoring station.
Go ahead, regale me.
Years ago, I was zeroing in on a notorious SIS agent called Vaughn. When Moff Royce recruited the Battle of Dracula, I had the spy called.
Hey Shauna.
I briefed
What's up?
Royce so that he could send someone else to take Vaughn out. He ignored the opportunity.
Wait. Your rap? I don't remember you doing rap. Kitty. You, you have a kitty because you got small titties. Ah. See, see, he made it better than I could. Red light therapy. I don't remember, Shauna. I don't remember. I spy with my little eye.
What is so important about this horror?
Fuck. Shauna, I don't remember. Got my kitties, and I got small titties.
One missed opportunity has led to a decade of unnecessary losses. I know Vaughn's signature.
I don't know, bro.
His accomplishments. I've picked up his scent.
Bolsas. Itty kitty bitty mitty. You got a kitty. Kitty. Itty bitty. Kitty. 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 Kitty bitty. Kitty. Kitty. Hey there, kitty kitty. She thick and she pretty. Must have came from out of town. No, I love that city. Hey, I think I know it, Shauna. Hey, kitty kitty. She thick and she pretty. Must have came from out of town. Now I love that city. I don't remember. Hello, kitty kitty.
It is imperative that you
Hello,
check it
kitty
out.
kitty. She thick and she pretty. Must have came from out of town. Now I love that city. Why the fuck would I remember? There's no fuck. Well, but still though, I wouldn't know. Can you hear it? Is it still going? Oh. She carry my kitty because she think I'm a pity. Kitty. There's no fucking way I'm gonna figure that out, bro. Yeah, you heard that shit? Ha! That's wherever you fucking come up with some gassy shit, bruh. I don't really care. That shit hurt. Good thing I'm not lighting myself up on fire. Hello, kitty kitty. She thick and she pretty. Must have came from out of town. No, I love that city. Oh, please no, Hickey. She can't keep her lips off me. Hey, John Isaac. You know, I reconcile with another good friend of mine. She lives in Dallas, Texas. Let me tell you something. Texas seems kind of fun. But at the same time, I didn't know how many fucking rainstorms you guys really had. You guys have a lot of rainstorms. Constant raining. I didn't realize it was like that. I thought it would be hot all the time. I also just found this out. Texas has In-N-Out. My favorite burger fast food joint. Because I'm the pipe smoking burger aficionado. Okay, that was it. She's probably from Cali. No, my friend's from here, New Mexico. Yeah, I agree with that. I've known this friend since we were like 12, bro. She's been living in Texas since we were like that young. And like, I guess we're just gonna move out soon. So, just waiting for that to happen. The dude she's with right now, she's a fucking player, bro. I love my friend to death. She's like a sister to me, actually. She's like a full-blood sister to me. Known each other for so long. I never really talked about her that much on here. But she's been on my YouTube channel since forever ago. Sometimes hearing the shit that they go through, hearing women stuff gives me a different perspective when it comes to women. It's like, yeah, good thing I'm single. Staying single. I'll never forget when Phoenix was all in love with Annie. Phoenix was all in love with Annie. Head over heels for her. Annie, there's this other girl, Kate Ann. She's on my YouTube channel. She just messaged me the other day. I forgot to respond back to her. But it's this girl named Kate Ann. She's on here and there. Yeah. You know, I'm over here and I'm wanting to be in love with like all these chicks and shit. Turns out, nah. Women aren't it these days, man. Women suck. Women fucking suck. When it comes to relationship wise, nah. I don't think I'm ever getting into another relationship. Dead ass. Fuck all that. See, I've hooked up with no, I've hooked up with bitches, but I sound like a fucking misogynist. I wish I was gay. Yeah, I'm gay now. I switched teams, man. I think you should try it. Oh. Oh, anyways, what I was saying that Annie and Phoenix were so in love with each other. They used to be fucking sexting each other on the group chat. I remember all that. Hello, my princess. Hi, princess. Such a good little girl, princess. I'll never forget seeing those messages. Never forget. Salute. Dude, I'm a war veteran when it comes to any of this, all of this shit. I see a lot of bullshit. I see way too much shit, man. Way too much stuff that I'm not supposed to be seeing, and I still see it anyways.
Let's move on, shall we?
Way too much bullshit, bro. I see way too much shit, man. And that nigga, dude, he's over here fucking using his college phone number to fucking call me. Bug my ass, bruh. He went back to the college we went to, and this nigga tried to get a hold of me. I don't know what for. But anyways, the school called me. Had something to do with Anakin, Phoenix, whatever his name is. Anakin Red Phoenix. And I just told him I have nothing to do with the guy. And they said, oh, okay, have a good day. And I'm like, okay, what the fuck is that dude trying to do now? Yeah, he turned trans, bro. He has one of my friends, right? One of my friends reached out to me saying like, "Hey, so did you know that so and so became trans? Does not go by he, him no more. He gets really upset when you call him he or refer to him as anything but a guy." So my friend messaged me and we were just talking all day about this. Saying like, yo, what the fuck happened between you and my friend, because ever since you guys had the fallout, he's been all this like weird like loop-de-loop. So yeah, he went back to California and he went back to college over there, and this is when he told me why I'm like, how come I'm not as liberal as I should be because I lived in California. He used to always tell me that. So he used to tell me, bro, you remember you lived in California. You should have changed, man. Should have been less racist. And I'm like, it made me even more racist than anything. No, we used to argue about that. Stupid ass arguments, like on the phone at work while I was working. Because I could talk on the phone while I'm working, it's fine. Yeah, so anyways, me and my friend were talking about how he's starting to go by trans, she and they. And the signs were there. Like, dude, when we played video games, look. Is troubling times. The fact he's white and you're brown and you're more base, and it's troubling times. Oh shit. I would have thought you was Hispanic, bro. I could have sworn you were Hispanic or something. John Isaac's a Hispanic ass name. Well, you're not. I don't know. John and Isaac together. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, we were just talking about how the dude's starting to like, since he's bald now, he's starting to try different wigs and try out like how to wear like certain types of makeup. And the signs were there. I just refuse to see it. See, whenever we play video games together, why does this nigga always have to make like a chick character? You know that's true. Bible names. When it comes to me playing video games, I don't make any women characters. I think it's weird, but to each their own. But whenever I want to create my character, I want to look like me, not a girl version of me. So the signs were there. So when we played GTA together in some certain games and Dark Souls, he would create his character as a chick to look like him. So, I mean, the signs were there. I just didn't see it. I mean, if that's really how he saw himself, hey, that's how he saw himself.
What seems to be the trouble, Hiroshi? Tell me why you're so concerned.
Master Car, you promised we would be undetected, but the ship we've been tracking for you is here.
Calm your fear, Hiroshi. It will not serve you. I will speak with your visitor when the time comes.
Fear I inspire cannot be suppressed, Jedi.
Okay. You never told me we'd be tracking a Sith.
You will provide the details necessary to perform your duties. Now please, remain quiet. Sir, I presume you are Darth Barris'
His mother gave me 3
apprentice.
billion.
I am Jedi Master
Damn.
Car. You know?
You know, I'm not gonna fucking lie with you, bro. Let's just keep this because there's only 2 viewers right now. That is definitely the case. I used to ask him about that. Why do you watch it every day, all day long? I used to say that every day, all day. Like, don't you have an imagination or something? Don't you have days where you're just like, no, I don't want to do that? No, it's every day, all day long. And actually downloading videos. You can catch my drift here. He did watch a lot of porn. And then he got into a polyamorous relationship. In this polyamorous relationship is 1 chick and 7 guys. I didn't say like as many guys before, but it was a total of 7 guys shared between 1 woman. John Isaac, you're right. Gay people are extremely horny fucking people.
Will you be disappointed if I don't?
I have a long history with your master. Maris and I like to keep tabs on each other, so when I heard of a new apprentice, I investigated. These men were merely monitoring the equipment, following orders. There's no need for bloodshed here.
My quarrel is with you, Jedi. These men need not suffer.
Your temperance is remarkable. Hiroshi, please leave with your men immediately.
Thank you. Thank you, Master Car. And you as well, Sith.
Don't mention it.
Now that they're safe, I'll speak plainly. I know Barris has spies, and I know you were sent to extract 2 of them before they can be exposed.
No,
I'll soon have
no.
the proof I need. Barris' spies can't hide for long.
Solo female. I like to watch when I was. Why are we talking about porn? Proof I need birth. Spies cannot hide so much.
Your pupil's powers are a sham. She is leading you on a witch hunt.
Myself at 4D.
Barris, no doubt, is after my Padawan. How unfortunate. I kept her
I wonder if Phoenix is a fucking cuck, bro. 7 guys and 1 chick. Can you fucking believe that?
I will not let harm come to her.
I mean her no harm, Master Khan.
Please excuse me if I don't believe you. We did the earlier deception set, but now that Hiroshio and his men have escaped harm, I must neutralize you immediately. These troopers are among the Republic's finest. Surrender, and the Jedi Council will be lenient.
I find that preposterous.
You no choice. Men, take the Sith in by any means necessary.
7 guys. I used to ask him questions. He'd get mad. He'd be like, so do you guys just wait your turn? Do you guys have it all in one go? What is it? And she's autistic, apparently, and she doesn't know how to take care of herself. Like, she's dirty, bruh. Fuck. That's the even crazier part. She's autistic and he has to tell me I have to remind her to take a shower. Oh, I have to remind her to go to use the bathroom. I'm like, is this chick gonna just like shit herself?
It seems Dr. Barris has found himself a sick,
Look,
vicious weapon in you.
I don't know whose life went to shit afterwards, but at least I'm feeling better about my shit.
No one else has to die. We can discuss this peacefully, Master Khan.
If only that were true. My place is by my Padawan's side, teaching her the ways of the Force and honing her talents. I will do everything in my power to keep her hidden from you.
You have chosen this path, Khan. Placed us at odds.
You can't even type?
The dark side
Well,
is the dark
hey,
Barris
dude.
determined to hold
Some
it
guys just...
long before this moment.
Some guys like feet, some guys like dicks. We used to talk about this, me and him, you know? So I was genuinely curious. Like, because I'm like, dude, so do you watch her get fucked? Do you hang out with the other guys while she's getting fucked? How do you guys have sex with each other? And even then, since you have to remind her to take care of herself, does she like smell bad? Like, is she dirty down there? Does she know how to do any of that? And same here. Never got it. See, I've only interacted with guys who like stuff like that, who watch a lot of porn. And I mean, this is to the point where I've only known 2 guys who've had a problem with porn. It's Phoenix and a guy named Enrique. So Enrique, he had to go to therapy and shit, bruh. And he had to go to like some actual hardcore shit about it. And yeah, he liked feet and armpits. Feet and armpits and smell. Anakin liked... I don't know why Phoenix was named Anakin. Psycho Red. His dad should have named him fucking Cuckus. Anyways, there was something I asked him when I was working. I said, hey bro, I told him, are you bi or are you gay? Because he's like, you'll never know. Like, yeah, he's something. But he joked, he's like, you'll never know. Up until I saw the other day, the other month, where it was like, oh, dude's trans. So he's not a guy, he's not bi, he's not gay, he's fucking trans. I'm like, damn, dude, that's even worse. I would have accepted him if he was gay. But I don't know, man. Well. Before he turned to sin and let his demons consume him. Before he turned to sin. Darth Phoenix? Darth Phoenix. It's just a trans man. A bald trans man. No. No, dude, you saw Phoenix before he became trans. You saw my friend before he became trans. Oh. It's Princess now. Phoenix? That name had no. Oh my god. Oh shit. I'm stoned to the bone.
Sounds like a lot of guesswork to me.
That name has no has any meaning for me. It's Princess now. Huh.
She is susceptible. The anguish you cause will flush her out, and you will kill her and her master.
At last, a challenge worthy of me.
I only hope you are up to that challenge. You have yet to face a Jedi Master. The righteousness and passionless demeanor is nauseating. And no one is
I remember when I used to talk to him about the Jews, bro.
you will find profound fortitude and hate, or you will falter.
Be an interesting experience.
Sure, your results
Dude.
are of interest to me.
I get when people want to be righteous, they want to be the good guy.
Discover this
I get that.
Padawan's identity and destroy
But come on. At least know your enemies. Know who the real Satanists are in this fucking planet. Bro, like when I talked to him about the Jews, he would get all uncomfortable. Like, I get it's an uncomfortable situation, but dude, it's history, it's real life. And he'd just be like, you're being a little anti-Semitic. Like, not all the Jews are like that. So, we talk about that. And so it was just hard to talk about anything in my common interest like that. Because obviously I'm heavily into the occult stuff and like wanting to know history. Yeah. I remember all the arguments we'd have about that. Where I kneel Fadge. He's gotta take his fucking hormone pills, bro. He's gotta grow his boobs. Yeah, so I don't get it, man. He's a liberal trans mutant. And I don't like liberal people that much. His ex came into my channel the other week ago, and I was just telling her how I don't give a fuck about anything that's fucking political. Like, I'm done with politics. Like, bro, here's the thing about the metal community, metal emo scene, alternative, goth community. A lot of them say that our music is politically intertwined. Art is inherently political. God damn. Just shut the fuck up.
Discover everything you can
Just
about
like the
Skywalker
music, bruh.
and destroy everyone she loves there.
For what purpose?
What are we trying to achieve?
Norman Carr shields her. We must assault the youngster from afar. draw her out so that we may strike. Unfortunately, with the civil war for the Alderanian throne raging, your contact, Duke Kendo of House Thule, has become unreliable. Kendo was to discover more about the Padawan, her main loved ones. But he's distracted. You must realign his priorities.
Why don't I just kill him?
No doubt someday the man's usefulness
Yes.
will be exhausted.
Politics ruined it.
It's not meant to be. Kendo is a
Yep.
political creature.
Yeah, politics ruined that shit, bruh.
Not abstract for him.
Yeah.
Once they are made,
Yeah, John Isaac, you're right.
cooperate.
Yeah.
You'll find him in the House Thule executive chambers. Make haste.
Yeah, the whole politic bullshit thing, bruh. Come on, like, I get so exhausted with that shit. And I get it, like, dude, that's why I stopped playing music with that one band, and because they're full of goths, and they're all this liberal shit, and and plus they do drag shows, bro, and I'm not gonna lie, do what you want, I don't care what you do, but I feel like that's not me, you know, because they want me to play a show with them, but doing it for drag shows and all this like sexual shit. I practice what I practice, right? I do all this bullshit, but I'm not like into the whole sex thing. I'm not into like the whole drug aspect of all that. And you know, like I can't stand being around other metalheads and other emos or goths, because when I talk about music, they always have to bring up politics. I don't give a fuck about politics. Dude, there's more conservative people who are fucking more awesome and more like logical thinking than most of the liberal left people that I have met in my real life. Granted, you'll have people like my dad who are like MAGA people who love the AI Trump stuff. And then you'll have people who are like nose ring theory, like protest every day, change my fucking testicles type people. You're always gonna have radicals on any side. I just don't align with nothing. I just can't. I guess you could say I lean more conservative than I do liberal, so I guess there's that. Because I don't like the gay shit no more. I don't like immigration. I fucking hate immigrants. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I really, 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 really hate immigrants. But I can't even talk because my mom is an immigrant. But at least my mom learned English and she didn't come here with a whole bunch of diseases and she got vaccinated.
Seeing you return to the ship,
Oh yeah, I'm in Alderaan already. Drag shows, yeah, but I don't think I want to do that. To be real with you. And my mom works for the government, so that's not a lot of things that most immigrants can say. They work for the own federal U.S. government. And she's just, she does a lot of paperwork stuff for, like, the forest conservation. I guess that's what it's called, the forest conservation. Exactly. Years. Bro, that's like my fucking uncle. My uncle, him and my mom came here at the exact same time. He does not know a speck of English, bro. That dude drank all of my dad's liquor at one point, and my dad was fucking pissed. If my dad was on here, he'll be like, hey, remember when Carlos drank all your fucking liquor? Yeah, there's a forest. It's called Hemis Springs, I think it's called. This is how you spell it. Yeah, that's how you spell the Hemis, like forest or springs or whatever. I mean, I live next to a mountain over there. If I look straight ahead this way, the mountain's right there. Peace be with you, brother. Peace be with you. The Catholics have my, because I grew up Catholic, right? The Catholic people have the utmost respect for me, and a lot of people do on this planet Earth. When it comes to faiths, I respect the living shit out of Catholics. Really cool people, really nice, wonderful people I've met. Where's my fucking grinder? Where the fuck is the grinder? I have a fucking blunt wrap right here. Might take me a bit to wrap a blunt if I do that. Tree pines. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah. Imagine getting all fucking laid and shit. Getting me swamped. Get out of me swamp. You know, when I grew up, I really wasn't into Shrek as a lot of people were. I actually really didn't like Shrek. Ni hao. Ni hao. So, we're gonna roll a blunt now. This one's called Tropical Cherry. I really like the way this shit smells, bro. Yeah, we talk about a lot of controversial shit on this channel. Controversial shit. Hi, dude. But if I could pack this whole thing in, shit, being retarded. Now we gotta let this shit dry out a little bit. There we go. Let it dry out for a bit. Most of the people you met are mentally ill. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say that, huh? You can say that again, bro. You could definitely say that. Because you had Count Alucard, right? Bro, Count Alucard was asking Anakin's ex for nudes. And then he ended up fucking cheating on his wife. His long-term wife. That old man got his hard wiener and he put it up inside of his friend's pussy. That old man was able to still have some game in him, dude. And so both of them ended up having an affair between... Well, she cheated on her husband with Alucard. Alucard cheated on his wife with Tinkerbell. I think her real name was like Desiree or something, or Hannah. So anyways, both of them fucked each other. And then... Yeah, that happened. And then he was all asking Annie, Annie, on the Anakin's ex, saying, I want you to send nudes and all this weird shit. And she did it anyways. And then fucking Anakin, Phoenix, who had a mental breakdown after that one live stream that I did. Bro went fucking crazy as soon as we were talking about him on my live stream. Don't fucking talk about me without my consent. Don't talk about me without my consent. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm low-key a low-cal myself too. I'm pretty fucking weird. Or an Alderaan. I remember being an Alderaan as a Jedi. I kinda remember this mission, but not too much. So yeah, we got that, and then, dude, I look like shit. I didn't realize that. I need a haircut though. I need to trim my hair. Yeah, you remember her too? Oh yeah. You remember seeing her? Yeah, dude, her and Alucard fucks. I didn't know that until he was all talking about it. Both of them, bruh. Like, isn't it weird how all of this happened? This weird little community thing that we stumbled upon? Synthetic crafting. Okay. Dude, for real. And then, well, work was happening. I was working a lot. Well, the magic I've been practicing in the back, that stuff's been working in a beautiful way. I mean, there's not too much happened when you were gone. My best friend is gonna be moving in with me soon, maybe. You'll be seeing her around soon. So me and her are gonna be moving out together. Well, she's gonna live with me for a bit and then we'll both move out. Cause she's gonna leave Texas to come over here. Oh, the guy that my ex cheated on me with. Dude. Okay, so my ex cheated on me with a guy who's also trans. And apparently, I didn't want to know what the fuck he looked like, but when my friend told me, his eyes go one way this way and the other goes another way that way. Like his eyes are all fucked up. And he wears a purse all the time. Apparently, from what my friend told me, he's always wearing a purse. And he's always talking about how fucking gay he is. And he's really, really, really fat. From what they told me. They said he's huge, like fat. Like ugly fat. Like a fat Mexican, they said. And then like, Brandon, this fucking, your ex cheated on you with this dude? Like, you should feel better about yourself, bro. I'm like, okay. Well, since that's the case, then well, I guess that's the case then. Be right back. right eye would move to the right. Bro. She was fat and had huge gauges every time we made eye contact. I bet you'd be staring at that eye like, damn, girl, what the fuck happened to your eye? Disabled women need love too. Trust me, disabled women need love too. Hey, John Isaac, there's this 24-hour live stream that I've been a part of. 24/7 King Cobra JFS live stream by Cobra's Cantina. Here we go. The blunt is now ready. Look at that. Look at that. I guess I'm behind on my phone. It's my garage. Yeah, I'm in my garage here. In my garage. I know it looks messy back there, but trust me, it's no trash back there. Okay. Alright, I guess we're gonna start up this blunt. So yeah, 24/7 King Cobra JFS live stream. Let me just do something for my YouTube channel real quick.
Did I reach that with just one item? Again? And that's the next one. Yes.
Oh. Link the stream? Okay. Sorry. This guy's girlfriend. Okay. There's this guy. Alright. So, a while back, I was working with this dude, and he was like a gay furry dude, and his girlfriend really liked me, and she ended up cheating on him with me. And I used to fucking plow the fuck out of her before she'd go and see him. And he's live right now. So I just saw that. I'm like, oh shit, he's still streaming? I didn't know I still like was subscribed to him. And I was gonna say something about it. I was gonna be like, hey bro, remember what so and so? I'm about to do that right now. Uh-oh, there he is. Oh, it won't let me. What about on here? On this phone? Santos Perez. Violent jacket. Violent jacket. Damn, he has me blocked. I can't message him at all, bro. Damn. What about the Daniel Larson one? No? Damn. Hey, well, it is what it is. Chilling. Yep, there we go.
Patience, Duke Kender. There are standard procedures that must be adhered to.
Your disregard for our family rules is appalling. You are an abomination. Goodbye, cousin.
Fools. They won't be feeling much of anything for long.
Duke Kendo, Darth Barris sent me.
What? You're not on my schedule. I don't appreciate being interrupted. Barras isn't even on my radar, Sif. I have a war to wage and personal ambitions to achieve here.
need to adjust your radar.
A threat. You see these Sith I have attending me? Your corpse will be my message to your master. The rest, make this intruder.
Go get my pomegranate order.
I'm sorry,
Fuck.
Duke Kendrick.
Take your time,
We are
bruh.
assigned to protect you and support your interests.
Pomegranate
Step
order.
off Alderaan.
Pomegranate. I'm gonna need some of those.
And we will not cross Darth Barris or his apprentice.
Do you fear the Sith?
Fear weakens the coward. It's respect that tempers my actions here.
Okay. That was unexpected. It seems I may have been hasty regarding your master's needs. How can I make amends?
Don't be afraid. Barris doesn't want you dead. For now.
Then I will endeavour to remain on his good side. I pledge the same level of focus that had me so absorbed in my own work. I pledge myself to your directives, and as I aid you, perhaps you'll be moved to help me in mine.
We'll see. Time will tell.
I am focused and at your service. As I recall, Darth Barris wanted information on a young Alderanian girl who was taken off planet to train with Jedi Master Nomen Khan. I was to locate her family so that you could, well, send the girl a message.
For your sake, I hope you were successful.
The truth is, information about this girl is difficult to come by. I managed only one lead. Nomen Carr's Padawan fits the description of the former handmaiden of a noblewoman in House Older named Lady Renata. I've questioned her already, but Renata is protected by House Older's greatest champion. The man has never met his match in melee.
There's nothing I can't handle.
If I may, once you've eliminated the protector and gotten what you need, I would personally be very indebted if you arrange to have Lady Renata brought to us for questioning.
Reward better be worth my while.
Oh, I'll personally see to it if you deliver the farewell to me. Unscathed. While House Holder is a small player on Alderaan, it is affiliated with House Organa. Therefore, Lady Renata's estate is in hostile territory and very well defended. Be cautious.
Be ready for my return.
I do hope to see you soon. Until then,
safe and pleasant stay.
like fish.
No, let's try the coconut shrimp. I love coconut shrimp. Very nice sweet coconut flavor and very crunchy. And they also have a fish sandwich. Damn, that actually looks pretty good. That is a good fish sandwich. Very buttery bread and no jalapeno tartar sauce. This is crazy. Overall, Long John Silver's are actually pretty okay. I don't forget to like and subscribe. It's always keeping Long John Silver's in business. They're always empty and they're a fast food chain that serves seafood. And it smells very fishy. Let's try the fish with some tartar sauce. Hold on, I do another bite. This can't be true. The fish is flaky, has a very crispy batter. The tartar sauce is very creamy and pickly. This is really good. They also have chicken tenders. It looks like fish. Look at how the batter separates, and the chicken is very rubbery. Which means it's very sunlight.
Once, the slow structural decay of a world losing its flame, and the targeted predation of something ancient latching onto whoever sat closest to power.
Jenner's favorite car is a Trans-Am, and I heard it takes gender fluid from the gas tank. Oh, come on, that truck wasn't a good taste. That wasn't too bad. I don't judge trans people. I support trans people. As long as you don't hit them. You know what kills me about that is if you do hit her like she could tell him to knock it the fuck. There's some people who fuck yeah, I just...
Hello everybody, welcome back to This Week in Halo. Today we are talking all things Halo, from brand new possessable Halo Infinite enemies to even Xbox finally putting the resources everyone has wanted to our franchise. We're also talking about the future Halo games rumored to be on the horizon, including about Halo 7 and more. With Halo campaign volumes this week, the game has shown up the pre-order list, and that's very cool. Halo Studios, they also made a mistake on releasing the Q&A, so they had to do a press release to correct the mistake. We have a lot to talk about today, so this is This Week in Halo. Let's get into the video. So first up today, Xbox is to move much faster to develop new entries into iconic franchises. That's right, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, and Halo, obviously on this channel the one we all care about is Halo. Asher Sharma and Xbox are rumored to be putting much more resources into the Halo franchise. In a massive shift for Xbox. Asher Sharma is seemingly putting Xbox first with their games from the Phil Spencer era that were going to be on PlayStation, but they're not anymore, as well as this new rumor that flagship IPs that Microsoft and Xbox own are going to be expedited in development and given much more resources. Now, the reason why this is so significant is that other Microsoft executives have approved Asher Sharma's plans, and this is a complete 180 from what Phil Spencer wanted to do with almost all of Xbox's flagship games going onto the rival platforms. As we've no doubt seen at the Xbox showcase a couple of weeks ago, Gears of War abruptly got pulled off with PlayStation, so all of these games collectively are to bring value to the Xbox brand. If you want people to own the Xbox, you have to give them a reason to. As an extra piece of information that supports this, you didn't notice the Halo campaign had a trailer that actually talked about the main story, not the Sergeant Johnson prequel missions. It actually said film on a PS5 Pro. This Halo campaign trailer was supposed to be shown at the Sony State of Play, but it was pulled last minute. Halo for years has felt neglected in the way that so many games were pitched and yet barely were ever made. We've spoken about it today on the channel, Helldivers 2, like PvE concept, like horror concept, Space Fighter combat prototype, Halo MMO. I've mentioned it all before, but so many of these games would have made amazing Halo games. I will say, even during the Phil Spencer era, 343 Industries, who had them become Halo Studios, they said there are multiple Halo games.
Whoa. Yo. John Mittens, yeah. She carried my kid. Yep, that's it. John Mittens. Yeah. It was John Mittens. Yeah. I'm sparking up just for you right now. Dude, you're fucked up. Yeah, it's the worst thing I ever fucking heard. And you're over here fucking trying to rap like a fucking, like you know what you're doing. Shit, if I do it. I was telling you that's the most unfunniest thing I've ever heard. You were laughing hard, and I was like, that shit's not funny. It's just. What are you doing, dude? Hey, I'm on live stream, right? And we were just talking. Well, here, you're already on speaker. Say it.
Hey, she carried my kittens, John Mittens.
You see what I mean? This is what I gotta deal with every day. Dude, it's the worst thing I've ever heard. Hey, what I was gonna say, we were talking about Anakin just now, about him being trans. Apparently, dude's wearing fucking wigs. I wish I could see it, dude.
He's probably already everyone's favorite trans because, you know, they love redheads.
Yeah, over there in Los Angeles.
They love redheads. They're always trying to put something inside. He's coming back. He's coming back. Are you ready for me to tell him this?
No, I'm not ready.
Are you ready for me to tell him this?
Yes.
What is this?
What is this?
Oh!
Wow.
Taro? Google it. Oh, the real one. So we found out what it is. I called him because I remembered. Yeah. I give her my kitten, John Mittens.
You dumbass.
That was it. What do you think?
That's cool. You gotta keep going though.
No. It stops there. I was saying it screaming in the background. I was like, I give her my kitten, John Mittens.
See, it's just retarded, isn't it?
That's really cute, huh? No. That's it.
No, it's
That's
retarded.
My rap. Brandon, that's the worst shit you've ever heard, right? Most unfunny shit you've ever heard, right?
Most unfunny shit I've ever heard in a long time. Yep.
I was laughing so fucking
And you know,
hard.
I'm really fucking high right now, and I'm not even laughing.
I couldn't even breathe. I give her my kittens,
John
Mittens. Alright, brother, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Tell him on live stream that I said that.
I will. Well,
Alright, buddy, bye.
love you too. Bye. John Mittens, everybody. Give him my kittens, John Mittens. Alright. I gave her my kittens, John Mittens. I gave her my kittens, John little fucking Mittens. I gave her my kittens, John Mittens. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey. Nigga. Give her my kittens, John Mittens. Give her my kittens, John Mittens. Dude, it's hot in here.
Damn. Fuck.
Violence isn't necessary. I just need information.
All you need is my sword through your neck.
Glad to see I have your undivided attention.
And a very persuasive man. I was aware of the young handmaiden who left Alderaan with the Jedi Master. I'm afraid you're mistaken. The girl never served me. I didn't know her.
Do you know anything about her?
Duke Kendo can include that in his interrogations. Do congratulate you on your impressive venture. like to take the fair lady to him.
No, don't let him take me to that pig. I do know who the girl works for. I'll tell you all I can. If only you keep me from Kendo.
Say anything to save you.
Promise you. Judge, once you've heard. Grace name is Jason Son, and she was a handmaiden of Giselle Organa of House Organa. She was always by her side. Before the war, Giselle was an aristocrat herself. Now she leads the Organa troops against House Olga.
Where exactly is this Giselle Organa?
Her headquarters are somewhere on the front line.
The Duke will know where to find Giselle Organa and how to reach her. If you let me deliver Lady Renata to him, I'm sure Kendo will happily shed light on the situation for you.
I never intended to keep her safe.
I thought by telling you what I know, you'd show mercy.
Your destiny lies with the Duke, woman. Be nice to him, and maybe he'll treat you well. I meant what I said. I'm sure Kendo can help you find and confront Giselle. You should consult with him on it.
Be sure he's prepared when I get there.
Of course, friend. I will see you at House 3. Come, Renata. Time to face your fate.
Terrible fate it would be.
Don't get any twisted ideas about silly characters.
beside myself with appreciation for delivering Lady Renata for me. She will prove to be most useful.
Anything for House Thorn.
You will forever be cherished here. So, Fimrest tells me the lead was fruitful. Although Lady Renata was not the girl's mistress. She was Giselle Organa. I should say, General Giselle Organa. Now you have to track her down, which poses a bit of a problem.
Some elaboration is required.
Giselle Organa leads the Organa War against House Olga. Her headquarters is protected by an impenetrable force field. No fire power can reach it. The force field allows Giselle and her advisors to be stationed very close to the front and maintain obtain a more hands-on command.
There's got to be a way to penetrate the force field.
That is the task that faces us. Wait. Yes. A force field needs power to maintain itself, yes? So, if we manage to cut the power, and I bet I know exactly where Giselle is getting her juice. If I'm right, you could just walk through the front door.
I find you hard to trust.
I've given you a reason to. I hope to remedy that. Almost all the power on Albion is supplied by the planetary generator. Giselle must be piggybacking the system to power her force field. Several of my fellows do this to maintain their special security needs. A precise charge at the generator when force fail saves the fire. The planet won't miss a beat, but auxiliary systems like Giselle's force field will have to be manually reset, which could take some time.
What do you think of this plan?
Me? Wow, my opinion? Cool. I'll tell you, I just don't trust this guy.
What's a charming creature you are? Believe me, this is the only way to gain access to the Organa headquarters. The rest. Venture 7/7 detonator from my arms cabinet there. Take it to our friend. As you wish. The Alderaan power generator is located above the Strange Valley, and it boasts the planet's most advanced security systems. You'll have to fight your way in, set the charge, then fight your way out before the moon. It won't be easy.
Try not to yawn too much.
Once you've detonated the generator, you'll still have to run through Giselle's surrounding army and invade her headquarters before her force field is reset. I'll be eagerly tracking your progress. Good luck.
You're good to go.
Please select an available travel route. Have a safe and pleasant stay.
It's a nice day outside. Just chilling out in my short. Unusually warm for this time of year. And I'm not complaining. "72 minutes. Oh, Jesus. That's not straight.
Our story goes back to the foundations of the earth, to a time even before the gods drank nectar and ate ambrosia on the luminous peaks of windswept Olympus. It begins in the age when the Titan Kronos
things that's happened to me as a content creator was the time someone stalked me. This wasn't super serious. I highly doubt I was ever in any danger or anything, but they found out a bunch of personal information about me and harassed me with it online. The thing that was funny, though, is that their reason for doing it was because they became convinced that I was working for the CIA and would say things like, how else could he make such high-quality videos every single month if he isn't a Fed? Sorry to disappoint, but the real answer is just a ton of Vyvanse. High-grade stuff, too, shipped directly from Langley? Cut this out. But this isn't at all an uncommon accusation in online politics, especially when you start digging into the weirder stuff. Everyone who's anyone is constantly being accused of working for an intelligence agency while also accusing everyone else of the exact same thing. And that's kind of the entire internet now, right? Existing online now involves this constant state of paranoia where we all know that everything and everyone is constantly trying to manipulate us from all sides. Right-wing media figure, Russian psyop. Leftist podcaster, COINTELPRO. Center-left YouTuber, Zionist shill. Mainstream media, buddy, you can see them glowing from space. And sometimes the likelihood that you're witnessing an actual military psychological warfare campaign goes up. One of the craziest examples of this that I've seen is Haley Luan. She's an e-girl influencer in the Army, and at first glance, her content seems like some pretty standard hello fellow kids thirst trapping to boost recruitment. And in a lot of ways, that's completely accurate.
Forgot to take my ADHD meds and accidentally joined the Coast Guard.
But the thing that's unique about Haley is that she's very open about the fact that her job is conducting psyops.
Ladies, I'm trying to do my work today.
The app itself was a psychological operation from the get-go, but unfortunately, the department has run out of funding. This could be easily avoidable by paying more taxes, upping the defense budget, and getting more enlistees in the Army. You guys don't want to cooperate, so now we can't have anything, can we? Additionally, www.goarmy.com, I hear, is the next up-and-coming social media platform. If you guys want to check that out.
To me, there's something so sinister about the fact that when you look through the kinds of memes she posts, they're more or less the same kind of thing that you'd see from any hyper-online, irony-poisoned e-girl, and yet they definitely take on a very different meaning coming from her. It's kind of hard to describe, but this feels almost like an acknowledgement of the fact that things are so cooked that there's no need to hide this stuff. In fact, it's often more effective if it's out in the open. Now, it's very easy to think that this is some new thing, and in some ways it is. Things are getting increasingly locked down and censorious as all privacy is increasingly being stripped away. Even just over the course of making this video, the UK rolled out their Online Safety Act, or OSA. While its stated purpose is to prevent kids from accessing porn or content that relates to drugs, eating disorders, or bullying, in practice that is basically the entire internet. And so what this actually entails is requiring people to submit their government IDs for every major platform, something that all of these sites are more than happy to have on file. Oh, we need to start asking everyone for their government ID? Us, the companies that have already shown that we can't be trusted with that and have already harvested way too much of our users' data? Well, anything for the kids. In response to the massive backlash, Ofcom has doubled down by saying that they want to go after any platforms that encourage people to use VPNs to get around age checks. So anyway, this video is sponsored by Surfshark. Folks, ever find yourself looking to watch a region-locked movie on your streaming platform of choice, or feeling like looking something up on Wikipedia without showing your driver's license? Well, all that and more is possible thanks to Surfshark VPN. Surfshark has servers in over 100 countries, which is great news since similar laws to the ones passed in England are currently working their way through the courts in America, Canada, France, and Australia, likely with many more to follow. One subscription to Surfshark lets you use it on an unlimited number of devices at the same time, and it runs on everything: Mac, PC, iPhone, Android, smart TVs, game consoles, and even Fire Sticks. Now, just to be real here, I try to avoid taking sponsorships that are too closely related to the topics of my videos, not because that could influence what I say. My sponsors never have any control or really even knowledge of what my videos are going to be about, but regardless, I don't want to look like a shill, you know? This one is kind of treading the line a bit, so I'll just say that I'm not going to sit here and tell you that just using a VPN will prevent the government or anyone who really wants to from spying on you. Very much the opposite, in fact. Nor am I going to say that everyone getting Surfshark would be anything more than, at best, a temporary band-aid for all these laws coming out. That said, I think that this is potentially a useful, if limited, tool that everyone should maybe consider taking advantage of. So yeah, if Japanese Netflix or scrolling Twitter without giving Elon Musk access to your biometrics appeals to you, click the link in the description or go to surfshark.com/inhell and use code INHELL at checkout to get 4 extra months for free. But while I think that these new threats to our speech, privacy, and sanity are extremely important, they also aren't anything new. In fact, that's kind of been the entire point of the internet from its very inception. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. But before we get into it, let me just do a bit of housekeeping and explain what this video is. So, my last video was about AI weapons and sort of just the history of computing and how that's deeply tied to the US military. While I was editing that, I found out about this book, Surveillance Valley by Yasha Levine, which covers exactly that in amazing detail, along with some wild investigative reporting. But by the time I found it, I was way too late to go back and add another hour or two to the video, and so I decided to make everything that I would have added into its own video instead. This one. I'm bringing all this up to say that A, while you don't need to watch my last video to understand what I'm talking about here, if you like this one but just wish that it was 2 hours longer, then I've got some great news for you. But also, I usually try to pull from a pretty broad array of sources, but the vast majority of this video is going to be based off of this one source. I'd recommend checking out the book because it's amazing, but also so the H-Pharma guy doesn't burst out of this wall behind me. Now, let's get into it. Like any good story, this one begins with our old friends over at the Advanced Research Projects Agency. ARPA was founded in 1958 in response to the launch of Sputnik and was originally tasked with closing the technology gap between America and the Soviets by funding and managing cutting-edge research in space travel and computing, as well as missile defense and detection. However, there was a change in plans when NASA was founded 5 months after ARPA and took over the civilian space program, robbing ARPA of their coolest job. Not to worry though. As the Cold War began to simmer in the 60s, America was putting their all into stomping out communist uprisings around the world, and learn the valuable lesson that asymmetrical warfare is a bitch. Turns out that while mass bombing campaigns and search and destroy missions work great when you're up against a country, they're significantly less useful against guerrilla insurgents hiding out in the woods. And this is where ARPA found their niche, developing methods for this new kind of warfare, counterinsurgency. Now, the thing about counterinsurgency is that you need to understand the target and use that info to develop a unique strategy. As it was described in a U.S. military seminar, quote, the same bullet will kill with just about the same effectiveness, whether used against a target in the United States, Africa, or Asia. However, the effectiveness of the counterinsurgency weapon is dependent upon the specific target. So, first of all, what do you mean by just about? Is there a continent where bullets hurt less? But also, as you might guess, if you're developing this kind of unique strategy to win hearts and minds while bombing villages, you're going to need a deep, nuanced understanding of the people you're fighting's culture, heritage, geography, and material conditions. Instead, ARPA's Deputy Director William Goodell launched Project Agile, meant to develop counterinsurgency methods in Southeast Asia, particularly Vietnam, Thailand, and Laos. Agile combines cutting-edge computer surveillance with the latest in social science research to study the people of these regions. One example of this was Operation Igloo White, which involved dropping listening devices and urine sensors all along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. This was a massive undertaking that involved not just the latest advancements in piss detection technology, but also a fleet of orbiting planes to pick up signals from the sensors and then send any information to a nearby surveillance center that would still look sci-fi by today's standards. Not only was this operation expensive and time-consuming, it was also useless. Basically, once the Vietnamese figured out what they were doing, they adapted by playing recordings of truck sounds or throwing bags of urine onto the trail to trip the sensors and then just walk through after the bombs had dropped. But Agile wasn't just limited to the battlefield, and before long, almost all of Vietnam and Thailand were under ARPA's magnifying glass, which wasn't a particularly pleasant place to be. The question Agile wanted to answer was why the indigenous population was fighting. Like, capitalism is objectively better than communism, so why didn't everyone just immediately defect? It doesn't make any sense. In order to solve this impossible riddle, they hired the RAND Corporation to carry out a series of what were referred to as social experiments, but like, in the same way that Mr. Beast locking a guy in solitary confinement for a month can be called a social experiment. Some examples of this include subjecting defectors and prisoners to 24-hour interrogation sessions, the Strategic Hamlet Initiative, in which they kidnapped a bunch of Vietnamese villagers and kept them in a walled-off area in order to protect them from communist infiltration, or a study done in Thailand by the American Institute for Research, or AIR, that involved testing out the effectiveness of the pacification techniques that Agile had developed on Thai rebel hill tribes. These involved such innovations as assassinating tribal leaders, forcibly relocating villages, and inducing famine. I just don't understand why these people aren't joining our side. We've tried killing them, kidnapping them, starving them, torturing them, and burning them, and they still think we're the enemy. Maybe this new Agent Orange stuff will do the trick. Also, interestingly, one of the people working for AIR in Thailand at this time was none other than Charles Murray, the author of The Bell Curve.
I can remember reading the Reader's Digest when maybe I was 12 or 13 years old, and seeing an article about the RAND Corporation. And I swear I read that and I said, that's the kind of place I'd like to work. I'd never heard of a place like this. I was over in Thailand. This was 1965, 67, and I ended up getting work in a study of northeastern villages and was part of the Hearts and Minds kind of efforts that the U.S. military was having at that time.
And you've written, I think, about your experience in Thailand and the insights, non-quantitative insights you got from that, which I think changed your point of view on things.
Essentially, most of what you read in my books I learned in Thai villages.
Yeah, I could definitely see the influence, but as the war dragged on, the military increasingly came to see Agile as nothing more than an expensive boondoggle, which, despite its fancy promises of cutting-edge objectivity, wasn't really delivering any serious results. Even Agile's founder and the deputy director of ARPA, William Goodell, turned out to have been embezzling money from the budget, for which he wound up being jailed for 5 years. That said, it wasn't a total loss. An AIR report from 1967 called Counterinsurgency in Thailand, the Impact of Economic, Social, and Political Action Programs, explains that the methods developed for pacifying resistance in Thailand could be put to good use on anti-war and civil rights activists in America. The potential applicability of the findings in the United States will also receive special attention in many of our key domestic programs, especially those directed at disadvantaged subcultures. The methodological problems are similar to those described in the proposal. The application of the Thai findings at home constitutes a potentially most significant project contribution. Or, as Charles Murray put it,
all of those things, when I came back to look at social programs in the United States, kept me reminding me that, gee, this inner city Detroit attempt to help delinquents is running into the same problems that they ran into when they tried to increase double cropping in Thailand.
But speaking of expensive boondoggles, let's roll back the clock a bit to talk about one of the first pre-internet internets, Sage. On August 29, 1949, the Semipalatinsk test site in the Kazakh Soviet Republic, a team of Russian scientists successfully cracked an atom, and the resulting explosion served as the starting gun for the Cold War's nuclear arms race. The US, of course, responded by ramping up their production to make sure that they could cause a longer nuclear winter than the Soviets. But also, they got to work overhauling their missile defense systems, which until that point had been essentially analog, and replaced them with the first ever large-scale networked computer. The Semi-Autonomous Ground Environment, or SAGE, took 10 years to make, cost more than the Manhattan Project, and was obsolete before it was ever turned on. In 1957, 3 years before SAGE would be finished, the Soviets launched Sputnik, which proved that they had the rocketry technology necessary to land a nuke anywhere in America, something that having high-tech networked radar could do nothing to prevent. SAGE wasn't a total waste of time, though, since by building it, the US developed the capabilities to do computing in a new way that would create the modern computing industry, the internet, and the man who would make those things happen, Joseph Carl Robinette Licklider, or as his friends called him, Lick. Lick had graduated from Washington University with a triple major in psychology, mathematics, and physics in 1937, and then started studying how animals process sounds, which it turns out mostly involved cutting open cat skulls and zapping their brains with electricity. During World War II, he got recruited to work at Harvard's Psychoacoustic Laboratory, which played a surprisingly important role in the war by developing better microphones and headsets so that pilots could actually hear each other. After the war, he became an associate professor at MIT, where he helped to establish and then consult at the Lincoln Lab, where he worked on building SAGE's GUI. Lick's involvement in the research changed him, replaced his passion for feline electroshock therapy with a burning obsession with the idea of combining humans and computers through a massive interconnected network. In 1960, he published a paper called Man-Computer Symbiosis, describing his vision of a human-machine combination, which was a shockingly accurate description of just modern-day computers. While it seems obvious and kind of trivial to read today, back in 1960, this was visionary. What made this particularly unique was that while there had been plenty of applications of computers for scientific or military purposes, Lick was suggesting integrating them into regular people's everyday lives. In '62, Lick joined ARPA and was appointed head of the Command and Control Research Division, where he allocated funds to the scientists and engineers who would go on to invent computers as we know them today. For example, he funded Douglas C. Engelbard's Augmented Research Center, which would go on to develop hypertext links, video conferencing, and the computer mouse. He also put $1.5 billion towards a joint research project at UCLA and UC Berkeley that developed an early way of networking computers together. But Lick had his eyes set on a much bigger project. He imagined connecting all these newly emerging computer projects that he was funding into one giant system that he called the Great Intergalactic Network. But while he managed to lay a lot of the groundwork, Lick never actually realized this dream. Instead, after 2 years at ARPA, he decided that he'd done all he could and left the hardware to his successor, a fellow alumni of the Lincoln Lab named Lawrence Roberts. For his part, Lick kicked his feet up for a few years with a cushy consulting job at IBM, and then returned to MIT, where he directed Project Mac, a research project that built the first functional computer using the time-sharing system, thanks to a lot of funding from, you guessed it, ARPA. Now, when you look into the history of the internet, Licklider's name is generally accompanied by glowing praise. He was, by all accounts, a brilliant visionary with a gift for spreading his passion for the Great Intergalactic Network to almost anyone he talked to. For that reason, those 2 years Licklider spent at ARPA are probably the ones the agency would most like the general public to know them for. Unsurprisingly, Lick himself also tried to distance himself from the counterinsurgency being carried out in Southeast Asia. In an interview in 1988, he had the following conversation. ARPA was 5 years old at the time you arrived. What sort of situation did you find there? How was it set up? What sort of people were at it? That's hard to answer. I do not remember extremely well what the organization was. There was one part that distressed me. ARPA had gotten in... Were we in the Vietnam War then? Not quite yet. We were there, but it had not expanded. There was kind of a cloak and dagger part of it. There was a fella named Bill Goodell who, it seemed to me, was always trying to get control over what I was doing. I could never tell what he was doing, so that part made me nervous. Other parts of it, I'm not sure whether it was organized with the strategic office or the tactical office, but it was something along that line. A lot of it was re-entry physics. I had the feeling that there were some real geniuses in this, but there were also some guys who were essentially bureaucrats and managers, so I sort of stayed out of that as best I could. I couldn't be totally involved. I had one project that I wasn't cleared deeply enough to know what it was, and that made me nervous. The thing is, that's not really true.
That's not the truth, Alex.
For one thing, around that time, Lick literally was computing at ARPA, and so anything Agile did that involved the computer, which was pretty much all of it, had his fingerprints on it. But it gets a lot more overt than that. In March of '62, the Army held its Limited War and Social Science Research Symposium, which was essentially them hard-launching counterinsurgency as a primary strategy during the Cold War. Licklider attended on behalf of ARPA and led a working group to develop programs and projects focused on persuasion and motivation. And then there's the Cambridge Project. So I talked about this in my last video, but part of ARPA's work blending computers with social science for counterinsurgency was Project Camelot, which involved trying to develop machines that could predict and prevent the rise of left-wing social movements. Camelot was uncovered and shut down in its public accusations that ARPA was making a coup machine. 3 years later, they rolled out the Cambridge Project, a joint project between Harvard, MIT, and ARPA that involved making a massive data library that could be accessed using Project Mac in order to continue the kind of work they've been doing at Project Camel. On December 26, 1969, students at Harvard and MIT held massive protests against the Cambridge Project, in which they trashed ARPA labs and marched into the dean's office and refused to leave. The protests were triggered by members of the Students for a Democratic Society getting their hands on a copy of the project proposal written by none other than Ol Lick, along with 3 of his buddies. The director of ARPA's Information Processing Techniques Office, Robert Taylor, JFK's science advisor and soon-to-be president of MIT, Jerome Wiesner, and an absolute psychopath named Ithael de Sola Poole. Poole was an American academic who studied communications, politics, propaganda, and psyops. His early work had to do with using polling data to statistically test the best messages for politicians. He was an early adopter of incorporating cutting-edge math and technology into telling people whatever they wanted to hear, a strategy that turned out to be extremely effective while he worked on the JFK campaign. But he also had a side hustle. A devout Cold Warrior, Poole's company, the Simulmatic Corporation, was one of the ones hired to carry out those deranged studies in Vietnam. This wasn't particularly good for their image. Simulmatic was soon accused of making false promises about the effectiveness of their work, as well as quite a few war crimes. All of this would ultimately cause Simulmatics to go bankrupt in 1970, but as it was circling the drain, Poole was looking for a new way to get defense contracts, which he soon found in the Cambridge Project. Now, the way that all this was justified was that the Cambridge Project was dual use, meant to be open to any researchers looking to use it to analyze massive data sets, which was a genuinely massive advancement for both the hard and soft sciences. That said, Licklider's proposal to ARPA included the kinds of data sets the Cambridge Project would be using, which make it pretty clear what kind of work government agencies would be using it for. These included public opinion polls for all countries, political participation of various countries, international youth movements, files on contemporary world communist movements, mass unrest and political movements under conditions of rapid social change, the merging or splintering of present political movements, international propaganda output, peasant attitudes and behaviors. I think you get the idea. Looking back from 2025, I think this might be one of history's most confirmed correct anti-technology moral panics. During the MIT protests, Lick actually came out of his office to meet with the SDS protesters while they were trying and failing to burn a copy of his ARPA proposal. According to an onlooker, quote, "At one point, in fact, they had a copy of the proposal and he tried to set fire to it, not very successfully. Well, after a few minutes, Lick said, look, if you want to burn a stack of paper, don't just try to light it. Spread the pages out first. So he showed them how, and it really did burn much better. Say what you will about Lick. I mean, this guy may be working with the feds to spy on citizens and commit atrocities, but you got to admit that he knows how to set a fire. Also, this was all covered in a biography of Licklider called The Dream Machine by N. Mitchell Waldrop, and the way that he covers it is so fucked. In the fall of 1969, he found himself embroiled in a controversy over the Cambridge Project, a separate ARPA-funded effort that he had helped to organize in collaboration with Bob Taylor, Jerry Wiesner, and a number of psychologists, sociologists, and political scientists from MIT and Harvard. Lick and his colleagues had reasoned the Cambridge Project would presumably build up a large and vocal new constituency for interactive computing. At the same time, they hoped such a manifestly benign use of the Pentagon's money would be reassuring and would help to reestablish a dialogue with a segment of academia that had become particularly hostile towards all things military. Well, it was a nice try. Harvard withdrew almost immediately after bitter faculty meetings denounced the notion of having any contact with the Pentagon whatsoever. Rumor had it that the Cambridge Project was a front for the CIA, that its true intent was to develop software that would keep track of people's liberation movements around the world, that giant computers to run that software were already waiting in the basement of the Pentagon, and so on. To Lick, this was the worst part of what Vietnam was doing to the country. A younger generation was being driven into cynicism, paranoia, and a kind of furious despair. It's very funny that the author doesn't see it as a massive indictment, that Licklider thought that the worst thing about the Vietnam War was that young people just don't trust the CIA anymore. Now, back to Licklider's great intergalactic network. after Licht left ARPA, the project of creating this network of networks continued under Roberts, who was tasked with finding a way to connect the various computer labs Licht had seeded across America, all of which were completely incompatible with each other. Their big breakthrough came when they decided that rather than connecting the computers directly, they could use a system of smaller, separate ones as intermediaries. Roberts called them Interface Messaging Processors, or IMPs, which were essentially the first ever internet routes. The IMPs were hooked up to phone lines and would send and receive data and check for errors. If the line went down, then they would redirect the signal to another route. The key thing with the IMPs was that they worked completely independently of the computers connected to them. So the computers connected to the network didn't need to be compatible with each other, they just had to work with the IMP. And voila, we now had ARPANET, a network linking a series of military installations and schools with defense contracts into what would become the internet as we know it today. Now, something that tends to be missed from most histories of the internet is that back when ARPANET came out, this was not being celebrated. Very much the opposite, in fact. The way the general public first became aware of ARPANET was through a report on NBC. But unlike modern-day tech reporting, which is mostly just commercials or litigating Twitter beefs, here they had actually done critical investigative reporting. In his expose, Ford Rowan told viewers that the military had built a network that linked computers together, allowing them to share and analyze data which was being used to spy on America. At Daybell back then, the big conspiracy was just that government agencies kept their information in a database, whereas now everyone's just like, yeah, obviously multiple governments and corporations are at all times monitoring everything I do. To be fair though, not only were both computers and mass government surveillance relatively new at the time, at least in public consciousness, but also both were now being tied up with one of the most insane spy programs that there ever was. So, in 1970, a guy named Christopher Pyle, who worked as an instructor at a U.S. Army intelligence school in Fort Holabird, went public about some pretty weird shit he'd seen related to a counterinsurgency program called CONUS Intel. Part of what made this one special is that it was being carried out on Americans. According to Pyle, CONUS Intel was originally set up in '65 to keep tabs on activists so it could give early warning for civil unrest that would require the army to be called in. But it soon grew, and by 1970 was maintaining detailed files on the members, ideologies, programs, and practices of almost every activist group in America. This was all the brainchild of a guy named William P. Yarborough, who thought that all left-wing movements in America were secret insurgency campaigns carried out by the Soviets. He began sending thousands of agents to infiltrate and surveil just about every organization or activist group in America. This included labor strikes as well as just anyone that they heard was supportive of unions. They tapped the phone of Eugene McCarthy, a sitting U.S. senator who opposed the Vietnam War, bugged the 1968 DNC, infiltrated a group of Catholic priests because they were protesting the church's stance on contraception, and in one case, spied on a church-run ski club for troubled teens called Young Adults Program, which the agents were worried about because they thought that there was a connection somehow to hippies. Why would a troubled teen need to ski anyway? Unless they're skiing towards a global communist takeover. Also, and this is completely insane, on top of having their agents infiltrate and spy on all of these groups, they also had some of them pose as journalists. Not to surveil the press, although they definitely did that too, but to film and produce actual coverage of events, which they would then send to generals who apparently liked watching these fake news reports to get information, even though they could have gotten the exact same information from actual news channels. You guys ever think that maybe the military might be a little bit overfunded? But what made CONUS Intel really stand out from all the other ops in the long list of times the US government had spied on left-wing activists was that this was the first time they'd ever used computers to do this. While the FBI and some state authorities had computers to put all their files into that made them shareable and searchable, this was the first time that kind of tech had been used to document completely legal political actions. When the American people found out that spies had been keeping tabs on every protest, student union, and church bake sale in the country, and then putting everything they saw into a giant computer, they weren't happy. In 1975, the Senate Judiciary Committee conducted an investigation into military surveillance technology where they questioned the Assistant Secretary of Defense, David Cook. In his testimony, Cook insisted that the ARPANET had never been used to transmit surveillance files, and then went even further by claiming that it was completely unclassified and only used by academics, and that no intelligence agencies even had access to it. However, these were all, lies. In testimony given 3 years earlier by the head of ARPA, now DARPA at this point, Stephen Lukasik, he explicitly said that, quote, "Our obligation is to design, build, test, and evaluate a high-performance, low-cost, reliable computer network to meet the growing DoD requirements for computer-to-computer communication." Or, on the point of ARPANET being unclassified, again, Lukasik contradicted this in '77 when DARPA was developing end-to-end encryption, arguing that it offered the advantage of allowing the military to send classified messages while letting the infrastructure remain open to anyone. But also, none of that even mattered, since a few weeks after Cook's testimony, ARPANET was absorbed into the Defensive Communications Agency, making it military. This is all to say that at this point, computers and this new network connecting them weren't popular. In order to turn things around, someone needed to come in and change their names. Enter Stuart Brand. Brand was born in Rockford, Illinois, went to a fancy boarding school and then Stanford in '54. While in university, he kept a diary where he wrote a lot about his fears of communism in a way that feels distinctly 18 years old. Brand saw communists whose unthinking automatons, whose wills had been brainwashed out. Quote, "That my mind would no longer be my own, but a tool carefully shaped by the stems of power. That I would lose my identity, that I would lose my will. These last are the words. If there's a fight, then I will fight, and fight with a purpose. I will not fight for America, nor for home, nor for President Eisenhower, nor for capitalism, nor even for democracy. I will fight for individuals and personal liberty. If I must be a fool, I want to be my own particular brand of fool, utterly unlike other fools. I will fight to avoid becoming a member to others and to myself." So don't worry, our friend never became a brainwashed, unthinking automaton with no identity or will of his own. At least, not in a communist way. After graduating in 1960, Brand joined the Army, then moved to San Francisco, where he wound up doing a lot of acid as an unknowing test subject for MK Ultra. A lot of really interesting people were involved in that, eh? Wonder what that's about. Honestly, my take on MK Ultra is that I've never seen
There's blood all over me. It's everywhere.
Calm down, Lieutenant. Your wounds are superficial.
Hey, I just snuck a peek into the tunnel. There's a heap of those laser brains getting ready for another swipe.
Let's stay sharp.
Get ready to be overrun.
More of them? What the fuck? How many are there? Holy shit.
forces are retreating. You did it!
I couldn't have done it without you, Lieutenant.
You are too kind, Sif. Get General Giselle on the Holo for you. She'll be very relieved.
What's the word, Dargus? I assume that since you're hailing me, the day is won.
Yes, General. The Sith single-handedly turned back the entire attack.
Sif, as painful as it has been, it seems you've come through. I hope you were not expecting a thank you.
You're welcome, General.
Any excuse to slaughter, I suppose. Now, I promise to tell you where Jason Wilson's parents can be found. They have been servants in Castle Organa for many years. Sif, the Wilsons are simple, innocent, hard-working people. They deserve your mercy.
I'll take it under consideration.
That's all I can ask.
Goodbye, Sif. Thanks for saving my life.
Nobody better mess with us now.
newest one that I have.